Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zoe and this is Fox and Sloth Apothecary. Today I am starting a new series. I think that I say that a lot in some of the past videos, but I mean it. My friend Krista from Crochet Witch Tarot does a really cool series where she shares her weekly tarot decks, and I think that's super cool, and I think it's a fun way to explore different decks, and I think it's a fun way to create content and videos that are consistent. Something that I want to provide here, because right now I feel like I've been all over the place. But I don't stick with the same decks on a day-to-day or weekly basis. I usually just pick whatever I feel like that day, and sometimes that's consistent, and sometimes it's like completely random because I see a deck on the shelf and I'm just like, that's the one today. So when I was thinking about doing something like that, I was nervous because I was like, well, I can't pick a weekly tarot decks because who knows what I'm going to pick, and it's going to change. And if I get a new deck, sometimes I just throw it in there and it would be just a hot mess. So I decided to create this. I say this because it doesn't have a name yet. So hopefully by the end of this video, we figure out what this is going to be called. But it is going to be a series where I share the decks that I'm excited to use or I'm gravitating towards more, challenges or spreads that I'm interested in doing or that I've tried. What else? I have notes. I also wanted to incorporate my witchcraft practice into this video, so it's not just tarot. It's kind of just like a weekly lifestyle update kind of thing that I'm hoping to post every Sunday or Monday. I don't know yet. But I think it would be a cool way to just share some insight on my personal practices and the things that are exciting me and the things that maybe I'm not loving right now. So let's get into it. Come on. Andrew was very nice and made me tea for this. Hopefully you can't hear me swallow on the microphone. That would be weird. Okay. So I think the first thing that I wanted to share are decks that I'm using the most this week, which I'm super excited about. So the first one, Happy Halloween Tarot. I told you in my walkthrough you're going to be seeing a lot of it, and I meant it. I am loving this deck. I think that it's super cute backs. I think the cards are awesome. It's a pip deck, so I don't know. I guess other people don't like pip decks. I eventually want to write a whole thing about pips because I used to hate them because they made me feel insecure in my practice. And it took a while for me to figure out that that really wasn't the case. And then I kind of found some things about certain pip decks that I really liked, and I kind of fell in love. And now, if it's a pip deck, I don't mind it. There are some pip decks that I still am just not a fan of. Like if it's literally just a singular pip, trash. That might have been harsh. That also doesn't mean that like if you don't like pip decks, that it means you're insecure in your practice. That was just for me personally. So yes, Happy Halloween Tarot by Soni Graves. Love it. I'm going to be using that a lot this week. Another one that I'm super excited to use more this week is my Garbage Pail Kids deck. I feel like I should be sharing this. Oh, focus. There we go. My Garbage Pail Kids deck is new. I have a walkthrough that I'm going to upload some other time this week. but I've been using it like in the background since I got it, and I'm so excited and I cannot wait to post about it. So I want to use this deck like as much as possible. And it is full illustration, so I'm super excited about that. I was gonna say maybe you can check it out and like an eye in the sky kind of thing, but I don't think that. I think this video is gonna come before the walkthrough. So the last two decks that I think that I'm gonna use this week are not tarot decks. So I also practice cartomancy divination, and I laugh and say that like when I can't spend decks. When I can't spend money on tarot decks, I buy playing cards because they don't hurt the pockets as much. But my newest set of playing cards are the Grateful Dead playing cards, and I picked up yesterday this Friends deck of playing cards, and I think that I'm going to use those. I was using them in combination with Oracle cards, the Friends deck, and it was, I'm like not actually showing you any cards, and it was super cute together. So I think that I'm going to use that and probably different Oracle decks with it, with both of them. I also really like playing cards because I can travel with them easily and they're inconspicuous. So I don't know. Hot tips. Hot tips. I'm doing a lot of hand things with expectation that I'm going to edit cool things into this. We'll see if that happens. So those are the decks that I'm going to use this week. Probably the most. I might like sprinkle in like the Flux Arcana or Somnia Tarot or whatever else I decide to pick up that day. So let's move on. Challenges that I am doing this month. So this month, words. This month is September, and I am going to be participating in the Coffee and Cauldrons podcast. They put out a monthly tarot challenge, and this month it is called Harvest. I am a part of their Magical Beginnings Patreon. I love it. Super awesome. You should check it out. And they run challenge every month. And last month we got to explore our decks, and this month we're doing Harvest. So I have to still pick a deck, and I have to play some catch up. But I'm hoping that once I catch up tonight, probably, I'll be good for the rest of the month. Anything else? Let's see. Oh, so it's not really a challenge, but it's something new that I wanted to do. Well, kind of new. I tried it back in January. So I dug out my old bullet journal. And when I say old, I only mean in time because I've only done like this much of it. I have ADHD and it became a task, and so it was no longer fun. But I had attempted for, it looks like 3 months, something called Tarot in Pixels. And I'm going to reattempt it for the rest of the month, so the next 4 months. And it is literally just like a pixel graph, and each, see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Majors, cups, pentacles, wands, swords, and courts are all recorded. And then I'm just going to put a little RX if the card comes up in reverse. And I'm going to do that for my daily pulls, and I'm going to record it and be able to look back at the end of the month and see what comes up more, what comes up less. If I have more reverse cards, I feel like I've been pulling a lot of reverse cards lately. So it'll be cool to see if that actually happens. Okay. That was an interruption brought to you by 3 Tiny Goblins. So back to what I was saying. Tarot and Pixels. I already record all of my readings, my daily pulls, spreads, sometimes even, actually usually not, spreads that I do for other people. But all of my personal tarot, I record in my journal. So I can look back. I can already see what I pulled. I can compare. I probably can write down the statistics. But I'm a visual learner. I like videos. I like infographics. Like Pinterest, my best friend. You put it into pictures and it makes sense. So I think that doing the tarot and pixels will be not only a cool way to like look back and see a colorful month, but also just to kind of get a better idea of like what's going on in my personal pulse. So that's it for tarot like challenges. I'm trying to remind myself that this is weekly and not monthly, so I don't have to like super think ahead of everything. But I'm trying to include like what's going to go on in my week. Okay. Books. The Poison Path Herbal. I'm still reading it. If you watched my bubble tea and talk from a little while back, it was my August to be read pile. I'll see if I can link it some fancy way. Here, maybe. That'll either look super cool or I'll just be doing weird things. But I started it in August. It's for a book club. I'm about halfway through. I highlight everything. I promise you there's words on here that are not highlighted. I promise. A couple. But I'm about halfway through. I like it. It's a lot of information. The background, like flair writing, is really interesting. It draws you in. It's just the beginning was a lot. Now that I'm like halfway through, it's kind of easier to like pick up, put down, and get through. So I don't think it's going to be hard to finish it. It's just about finding the time now, which is probably harder than the actual reading. So this is my book that I'm going to try to work on this week. Other witchcraft lifestyle things. Let's see. Oh, I got a new welcome mat, and I am going to be working on a spell and a sigil to go with that. I'm super excited. I don't know if you've seen like in the past that TikTok that was like, why do you have a mat that says welcome when you don't want to welcome just anything into your house? And it was like a light bulb moment. Obviously not everything from TikTok is like beautiful, wonderful information. But some of the stuff, gems, and I think this is a gem. So I had been waiting because I wanted to find like the right mat. I found one. It's cute, matches the season, matches my aesthetic. Probably have to change it for some other season because there will be somebody that has a problem with like bats being on my my mat year round. But for now, it's perfect because we are in spooky season. I keep doing a lot of things with my hands. I think I've already said this because I'm hoping to edit this video myself. I want to do cool stuff, but we'll see. That might have been a repeat. So yeah, so this week I want to do that. So I have to create a sigil for it and cleanse it and then get it out there. And what else? And I probably should clean my altar. That is also on this week's to-do list. My main working altar. I feel like the other altars are small. They could probably go for like a dusting. But my main working altar definitely needs some love, some reset, just like, you know, clean it up, get the wax off, etc., etc. So I think that's it. Yeah. That's it for my week. The first like OG week of September, right? Maybe it's the second week. My kids start school this week, so it's going to be kind of crazy, hectic, a little intense. but I'm excited, and I'm excited for this series because I think it'll be fun to like chat with you guys and kind of share like what's going on in my practice and see like maybe you guys can share in the comments like cards that are coming up for you a lot. Like we can see if we have like similar stalker cards or decks that you're using for the week or spells that you want to like learn or do. I don't know, fun stuff. Let's chat. I want this to be like a together thing. Before we go, I'm going to pull a card for my week ahead. It's going to be my general theme for the week. And then over on my Instagram, I pull a weekly tune in. That's a name. Weekly tune in. But over on my Instagram, I pull a weekly tune in where I look at the energy of last week, this week, and that day, and I kind of combine it to give you a general reading for the week ahead. So I'll share my personal one here, and then if you want to take a look at maybe some idea of your week ahead, you can head over to my Instagram and the picture will be there. So let's see, what deck should I use? Hold on, my watch is making noise. What deck should I use for my personal? Let's go with Garbage Pail Kids. Okay. We're going to shuffle it up. Give it a real good shuffle. I'm still getting used to this deck. It's a little stiff. Okay. And my theme of the week is the Page of Wands. Yay! So for me, this is a reminder that I can be and do whatever I set my mind to, and that there are things underground that I just need to let grow because it takes time, and I need to remind myself that I don't have to do it all right now. It's also that general curiosity and excitement of just kind of seeing where the energy leads me. So this week, I'm not going to stick myself in a box. I'm going to give myself the time and the ability, allowance, forgiveness to just kind of like see what sticks. Try something new. All right. I will see you over on my Instagram for the general week ahead. And until next time, bye, friends.